Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So currently it is July 16th. We are exactly 16 weeks away from election night 2024, and Donald Trump is riding a very, very large wave of momentum. And now he is the 72% betting favorite to win the election. And he chose J.D. Vance as his VP after night one of the RNC. His odds ticked up a point or so, and he's going to continue to likely ride that wave of momentum. Usually the first night is the weakest night. Some people are, throwing out some criticisms, but either way, just seeing Donald Trump there, throwing his fist up in the sky again, his triumphant return, 2 days later. Would have been great to see him speak, not necessarily, have him give his full keynote address or whatever, the headline speech of the RNC. That's going to be on Thursday, the final speech, but would have been nice to, hear him say something, but that's besides the point. The guy nearly died, a few days ago. So just him being there in and of itself was pretty epic to see, and that's the most memorable point of the night. But also, this is an election that we have to win, and Donald Trump, even in these polls pre-incident, he is up on Biden in Wisconsin by 6 percentage points in this poll, and the Senate race is tied. There's new polls across several states we're going to analyze and look at the electoral map and kind of see what a good position he's in. But first, really quickly, got to tell you guys about our friends over at My Patriot Supply, because your freedom's up for the taking, and those doing the taking have committed to defend your freedom, but they can't take away what they've never given you, which is peace of mind. Your shelves stocked with 3 months of food, that's peace of mind. A new deal is out. Go to preparewithredeagle.com, save $200 on their 3-month emergency food kit, over 2,000 calories every day, lasts up to 25 years. Absolutely delicious. I know people that live off of this stuff. They save money. It's the Biden economy, and you could save even more money now by getting $200 off and free shipping at preparewithredeagle.com. That is preparewithredeagle.com. So we have to talk about these polls. You talk about the Rust Belt. That's partially why Trump went out there and selected J.D. Vance. Some people are saying, he's too similar to Trump or whatever. But who cares? Trump himself was up on Biden by 3 points. It's a double down pick, somebody younger, veteran, articulate, very intelligent guy, going to go out there and decimate Kamala Harris, bring some new life to the ticket, and possibly help accelerate that realignment. That's exactly what you need to do. And you talk about winning Wisconsin. J.D. Vance is a big asset to the ticket in Wisconsin, in my opinion, in a way that a lot of other people may not exactly be. And you look at this, Donald Trump up by 6. The Senate race is tied. Eric Hovde tied with Tammy Baldwin. Absolutely huge. And you talk about the Senate polls showing Democrats in a better position, which they do. A lot of the undecided voters are voting for Trump. You think those people are going to vote to split their tickets, or are they going to vote for a Republican Senate candidate? Now, I think that some might split their ticket, and some Senate Republicans will underrun Trump. Some in some places may do better than Trump, but either way, I really believe as if Trump is a massive net benefit to the ticket for the down ballot Republicans, and you won't see as much ticket splitting as the polls currently show right here, right now. But Wisconsin up by 6. But Arizona, this is also huge. Recent poll released by the Times, it shows Donald Trump up by 7 percentage points pre-incident. Joe Biden at 37 in Arizona. Now, Trump is winning the state by McCain margins. We were told Trump can't win Arizona. That's not true at all. And you look at the polls in years past, Hillary was up at this point. Trump won Arizona in 2016. Biden was up at this point, was much closer than that at the end of the day. But you look at the 5-way race here, Donald Trump, in some of these polls, he's up by more than 7, and some of them are pre-debate. He's in a very good position in Arizona. Biden's coming apart at the seams. There's no enthusiasm on the Democrat side, and Donald Trump is just steamrolling the guy. And you look at the battlegrounds, some of these states, you kind of question, are they really battlegrounds? North Carolina, Trump is up by 5.4 percentage points in North Carolina. That's more than he won the state by in 2016. Wisconsin, where the polls historically have underestimated him by around 6-7 points both times, Donald Trump leads by 3 percentage points in the RCP average. And you have an outlier poll in there from Bloomberg that has Biden up by 3. And it's like polls typically underestimate Trump in a lot of these places. Pennsylvania, he's up by 4.5 points in Pennsylvania. New York Times poll, not exactly a very pro-Trump pollster typically in the swing states, but even they show Trump up by 3 in Pennsylvania. Then you have the incident in Pennsylvania. Who knows how that's going to impact the race? But either way, 4.5% in Pennsylvania, that's not even close. But when you talk about New York City getting closer, and New Jersey in some polls getting closer, you would anticipate Philadelphia and Eastern Pennsylvania very similar in that regard, where Donald Trump could go out there and really run up the score, assuming people get out to vote, which is a very important thing. It's far from over. But Michigan, you talk about the auto workers, Republicans really trying to make that outreach to them. J.D. Vance on the ticket, I think, is a massive asset in a place like Macomb County, for example, and a very good campaign surrogate. Already Donald Trump, posting big numbers in the state of Michigan. He's up by 1.3%. Possibly at the rate things are going, I could see him win the state by more, depending on how things shake out down the stretch. But even Nevada, he's up by 5. I mean, it's just looking really, really good for Donald Trump. But it's deeper than that. Virginia. This is a state that is not considered a battleground, but I mean, the polls are closer than literally every single state that they consider a battleground. Governor Youngkin endorsing Trump, giving a speech in favor of Trump, talking about the need for strength yesterday. And that's exactly what we need. We need strength. He will not be on the ticket, but nevertheless, Trump and Biden tied in Virginia. This is a state Biden won by a safe margin. He won it by more than 10 points in the 2020 election. So already a massive, massive turnaround for Joe Biden and Donald Trump in terms of the way that they're moving. Trump is going up in the state. Biden's going down in the state. You have a poll that was released. Yes, it's not really the best poll. VCU is somewhat of a respected pollster, but still, 809 adults, that's kind of the big thing. And it also shows that Donald Trump typically does better when they poll, just people that are adults. So we need people to get out and be registered to vote and make sure that they show up at the polls. Trump is winning the polls in enough states anyways, registered voter, likely voter, you name it. But we need people out and voting, period, because the American public, the silent majority is actually real, according to the polling. We're the majority at this point in the game, but we need to make sure we have a good showing in November. I think Trump can allow it to happen more so than any other Republican, if you want my honest opinion. But when you're looking at the map here, the fact that the map is opening up Maine at large, New Hampshire, Virginia, all in play, New Mexico, New Jersey, some polls have those states neck and neck. And we're talking about Trump up in Wisconsin by a lean margin. He's up in Pennsylvania, Georgia by a lean margin. State Republicans thought they may never take again. Similar thing with Arizona. He's up by a likely margin in Arizona. He's up by a likely margin in Nevada. You're talking about the states that really matter. Biden's in a whole lot of trouble, and his pathway to win the White House is Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. His campaign admits it. They're deprioritizing all the other states. Remember, they wanted to go for Texas and Florida and Alaska and Kansas a year ago. Yeah, how is that really working out for them? Not too well. But in terms of Donald Trump and the way things stand right now, yeah, that Rust Belt is very crucial. And when it comes down to the J.D. Vance pick, he is from Ohio. He does have a compelling life story with a lot of Rust Belt appeal. He can appeal to suburbanites in those areas, and he can appeal to the rural areas. I think that's really why he was chosen by Donald Trump. Donald Trump going for somebody like a Rubio or a Youngkin, probably more of like a, Sun Belt appeal, more of a suburban appeal. But Vance could very well have the suburban appeal as well in the Rust Belt, which really matters because Trump himself in the Sun Belt doing very well. I don't think Vance really takes away from that in any way, shape, or form in those states like Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina. But if you're talking about the Rust Belt states, I think Trump sees him as a benefit, somebody who adds something to the table, and can go out there, decimate Kamala Harris on the debate stage, and articulate that message to more and more people living in the Midwest. And we'll see how it shakes out down the stretch. But just the polling being where it is right now, and that's pre-RNC. That's pre the incident. We don't know how that's really going to shake out in the polling. We don't know if it's going to lead to a sympathy bump or whatever. But I think that if anything, it's something where Joe Biden is probably going to just, fade away for a little while because of both of those things. And he's still trying to make sure that he's going to be his nominee. And I don't think he will be replaced. I think that Democrats are going to ride with Biden. You see a lot more polls coming out with Harris running behind him. I think they're going to point to those polls and use them as evidence for why Biden is the strongest candidate. And he probably is, to be fair and to be honest, that the Democrats have at this point, because Harris is really just a train wreck. And there's a reason why a lot of people that are speaking at the RNC are saying Biden and Kamala Harris, because they're a package deal. And a package deal from hell, one could say, electorally speaking, at this stage in the game. And if Kamala becomes the nominee, they're accounting for that. And she's not exactly polling so hot. So when you look at this, it's like Donald Trump in a very good position right now. We have basically 3.5 months to go, roughly, before the election takes place. And it's going to be a fun ride for sure. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you guys like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.